And they took this timeout to give Clifton Smith a chance for a return.
And they ran right into Smith. Clifton Smith was hit on the punt and still lying down. And Dante Wesley ran into him. And now you think these clubs have played each other over the years, even the young kids, and have learned. You just talked about what they showed them.
Yeah, this is always a physical rivalry, and they've run out of flags, so now the officials are even throwing hats to signify penalties.
And there is Akeem Talib, and there's an official trying to keep him out of further trouble, and we already have trouble here.
And that's good preventive officiating right there. And Dante Wesley's going to proclaim innocence, but boy, what a shot did he deliver on Clifton Smith, who had no chance to get to the ball.
Tell you what, this officiating crew just did a superb job.
Fantastic.
In stopping what could have been a total melee into, a kind of a scrum that ended in a hurry. Meanwhile, still down on the field is Clifton Smith.
Now watch, Dante Wesley is the gunner, and Clifton Smith goes and gets set up, and Wesley just lowers the boom on him. And he's going to claim, he's going to proclaim innocence, but this is going to be a real problem for Dante Wesley. I mean, there's nothing there to show that the ball was there. Not at all. And that's what led to where we are right now.
And when the Buccaneers saw what Wesley had done, they obviously came to his aid, especially since he wasn't getting up from that injury.
Dick, when your coach, I'm talking about the Buccaneers, shows you film in camp about a team that he says has physically dominated you, and something like this happens, look out.
Fair catch interference, which was also a personal foul. Number 21 of the kicking team. That player, by virtue of his actions, is disqualified for further participation. 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
And I think, Dick, you mentioned the officiating crew. What a great job they just did there. I think it's the right call. I'm glad to see Clifton Smith up and walking. This is good. But also, the coaching staffs for both teams got involved in helping break up this melee. I mean, look at this. Smith goes to get set up, and Wesley just launches into him long before the ball comes down. Smith comes over. He's getting set up. Now, there's going to be no excuse, and you know very well come Monday, that's going to be reviewed in the league office, and there will be additional things, I would believe, that comes down for Dante Wesley.
In their last 26 possessions, Pryor lost it to the end zone. Intended for Streeter, who was well covered. Kaysen was with him step for step. Now we've got a tussle going on, and a marker is down as well.
Yeah, it's Mike Goodson, the running back, who stepped in on pass protection that got tangled up. And there you see it. He's got his hands up, and neither guy wants to let go. That's Takeo Spikes, who's a guy who's played over a decade.
Hear the verdict from John Perry, our referee.
There are 3 fouls on the play that will offset and will replay second down. Pass interference, defense, number 20. Personal foul, number 51. Personal foul, number 25. Number 51 and number 25 have been disqualified.
Wow. What? You see Takeo Spikes is very unhappy.
You got to calm down.
And I'm surprised that those guys got ejected, because usually you have to throw a punch or do something like that to get ejected. Now Takeo Spikes might add to it. And I agree with both players. Now, that's a tussle, no question. They lost their tempers, but I didn't see any ejectable offense.
Talking to Spikes.
And Takeo Spikes, in his 12th year, he doesn't get too many more seasons to have one end in this manner. And I really didn't see anything on the replay that warranted an ejection unless one of them made contact with an official in the melee or something like that. And Takeo Spikes may not cool down till March.
Leader of the San Diego defense, and again was trying to reach 100 tackles for the season for the 12th time in his 15-year career. Let's pick up what happened.
Well, that's the beginning of it right there, and it's just, you know, nobody's going to give up. And see,
I don't
nobody's
think
throwing punches.
Yeah, Spikes was not being aggressive there.
Neither one of them. I mean, they're both pushing each other on the face mat, and right there, okay, I don't see why anybody got ejected because of this. And that, I mean, I can see why if they're not going to let up, then you throw the flag and they offset. Why did anybody get ejected there, let alone both guys? I think that's an overreaction by the officials.
Takeo trying to get the crowd fired up.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 70 of the offense. This is his second foul of the same type in the category. He's ejected from the football game.
This is the new rule. 2 fouls. Watch Weston Richburg as he takes a shot at Josh Norman.
Well, how about Beckham right now? I mean, a guy in the last 2 plays, get him the ball. I mean, he's ready to make something happen. Looked like he was going to score on the play. And right now, they're without Weston Richburg, their center. And that's the new rule that they put in this year, and it came into play in the offseason because of what happened between Odell Beckham and Josh Norman in that game here last, December.
Randy Moss has 3 catches for just 23 yards.
Andre Johnson and Cortland Finnegan getting into it. Handoff for Ward on 3rd and 8. And Ward leaning forward. Flags come down. Oh, there's punching now.
Yeah, Finnegan and Andre Johnson going after it. Both of the helmets were ripped off. And we may have even more action.
Oh, it's continuing. It spills over. It's gotten ugly.
Finnegan was mad about the previous play. He took a shot right away at Andre Johnson, and now they're going to be tossing Andre Johnson out of the game for sure. He'll get the thumb because he connected on a couple of haymakers on Finnegan. Wouldn't be surprised if Finnegan doesn't get an early shower too. Remember, they were going after it on the previous play, and Finnegan instigated it on this play right at the line of scrimmage.
It was building between him and Finnegan. They've been matched up on one another the entire afternoon.
Yeah, Johnson has gotten the better of Finnegan. 9 catches, 56 yards, 1 touchdown.
Clete Blakeman is going to sort it out.
There are personal foul penalties against both teams. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness after the play, number 80 of the offense. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 31 of the defense. Both of those players are ejected. It'll be Tennessee's ball at the end of the run. First out.
And that's the right decision. Toss them both out because of this action right here. Finnegan gets the first shot, then gets his helmet knocked off. He takes off Johnson, and now Johnson is going to get a couple of good shots in there, or bad shots, if you will. And they're both gone, as well they should be. Well, you just don't see that in the NFL very often. That uppercut right there landed.
Johnson has been ejected. Finnegan has been tossed from the game as well. Cortland Finnegan believed at that point that it was Johnson that would be tossed out and he would be able to remain in the game. It's not the case. Now the question is going to be, will there be further ramifications from the league? This is the play before when Johnson and Finnegan got into it. And Johnson has a knack of getting Finnegan's helmet off his head.
Well, and it was the last shot there when Johnson pushed him in the back. They almost go at it right there. And now, just a few seconds later, the helmet comes off again. Finnegan rips off Johnson's helmet. And physically, this is a bit of a mismatch. Johnson goes 228 at 6'3". Finnegan just about 190 pounds. He's got to go, though.
So they will walk Finnegan to the locker room. It's a 4th and 1. Finnegan will jog off and give a wave to the crowd here in Houston. And who knows, this could cost both players another week, depending upon how the NFL deals with it. Timeout.
Sweet. Who started to come on after that 100-yard performance in the win last Sunday. Foles going end zone, right back to Kelsey, who thought that he was interfered with in the back of the end zone. No flag. Mukamara, who missed on that interception early in the game, was there on the coverage.
Kelsey saying that they turned him and hooked him away from the ball right there. That head around the neck. He was hit before the ball arrived. Now, the official may have said that ball was too high for Kelsey. Oh, Kelsey is hot. Now he's ejected from the game. He's out. There must have been some verbal confrontation. He was hot. In terms of whatever he said to the official is not warranted. And Andy Reid's not going to be happy with this.
We saw the initial flag, and then he continued to jaw. So again,
well, he threw his towel up at the official, and
that's
at
right.
that point, the official showed him the showers.
This is the new.
Look at Andy Reid's not happy with that behavior. It's unwarranted. If you're Travis Kelsey, you got to set a better example. You've got to keep your composure and come back and play on the next down.
We saw Eric Berry come over. This is one of the new points of emphasis in the NFL. Players ejected after multiple unsportsmanlike penalties.
Right. So he said something there, and then there's the flag
on the offense. Both are unsportsmanlike conduct.
So the initial flag and then the second, and that is an ejection.
You know, such a talented player is Travis Kelsey. I mean, we marvel at his abilities. We said at the beginning, he's got a body like Gronk and hands like Beckham, but he's got to be able to play with greater composure. Can't hurt your football team, and he didn't get the flag. No, he didn't get the call. And it happened last week where he had a great catch. It felt like a great play was taken away from him, but 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties on one play, all because he didn't get a call that he thought he should have gotten, and now he's ejected from the game.
So Kelsey ejected at the 11-13 mark.
See how they play these next few downs. Robert Turbin splits down to the bottom of your screen. Russell Wilson's in trouble, and he goes down. Charles Godfrey. Oh my goodness.
Perfect timing to call the blitz.
And there's a flag down.
Pete Carroll, settle down, everybody. I think Giacomini swung at somebody, it looks like.
Maybe at Frank Alexander, who Steve Smith is doing a little talking to.
They really tried to focus on getting the instigator this year. I think that's a big point of emphasis with the referees. You know, it's usually been the retaliator that gets it. They're trying to get the instigator.
They're marking it off against the Panthers, and it's going to put the ball at the 40 and give Seattle a first down, the 40 of Carolina.
That's a disaster at this point in the game after a big-time momentum play and pushing him back across the 50 to get a bonehead penalty like that.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 90, 15 yards. Added to the end of the play, and number 90's actually disqualified himself from the game.
Frank Alexander has been ejected.
Do you see Ron Rivera just tell him, get your butt out of here and go to the locker room? There he is on Giacomini. He's pushing him in the face and then throws a left jab.
Triplett caught in the middle of it.
Looked like an open hand hit him in the face. Look at Steve Smith. Everybody telling him, get out of here, man.
Meanwhile, we've had fisticuffs break out here at the 40-yard line. A long way from where the line of scrimmage was, and it hasn't ended. And in the middle of it is Steve Smith. Helmets are on the field, and they're still going at it. And 3 flags go up simultaneously. What triggered this, you wonder? And Chris Long coming off. Going to check out Jordan Gross, the left tackle, and Robert Quinn, the defensive end.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see how they sort this out, because this started out with just two guys kind of pushing and shoving. It should be done there, but now we got 4-on-1.
Personal foul. Defense number 91.
And then now it just continues to escalate.
His actions, he's been disqualified from the game.
Chris Long has been disqualified. Personal foul called against Long, and he has been tossed from the game.
And I don't know that we've seen the incident that the specific here, right here. Long's in the middle of it. What prompted his being ejected compared to anybody else? You can see they're trying to pull him off here. Darian Stewart in there trying to pull their best defensive lineman off. The damage has already been done. The frustration of having them in a third and medium. I'm talking about St. Louis now with their backup quarterback in the game, jumping off sides, now leaving themselves vulnerable, now inside the 20-yard line. I think we might be seeing a little of the frustration of the St. Louis Rams, recognizing their situation, down 17-5 here in the third quarter.
And one of the fans threw something out on the field, which is totally inexcusable, as Chris Long, being escorted off the field, has been disqualified. And it all started with Gross and Long. Steve Smith was also involved. Let's see the play before the fight with Long and now Steve Smith.
Yeah, they're jawing back and forth subtly right here, but you don't want to get into a war of words with Steve Smith, that old veteran right now.
Was 10 to 12 play drives. He wanted to see them get on track and not rely on big plays.
Travis LeBoy with a nice hit on Tolbert. No gain on the play. Now Justin Smith's going to get flagged.
Now let me tell you, that's this guy right here, that umpire. That's Garth DeFelice. He's one of the toughest umpires in the National Football League, and he's not afraid to jump in the middle of the fight and break it up, which he was trying to do there. Justin Smith wasn't aware that it was him and kind of gave him a swat. Garth isn't backing away from anybody. He's an old school guy. See him push him right there?
You can't push him. Can't push him. You cannot show any aggression towards an official. As seamless as it might appear, you cannot do that.
Now, and just know it, Justin Smith is not a guy who's prone to that. I mean, he's as good a guy as there is in this league. He reacted, and Garth isn't about to take any of that.
After the play, personal foul, very rough. Number 94 of the defense. That foul is against an official, and it requires an automatic disqualification of number 94.
Oh, that's huge. He is their best defensive lineman. That's a huge loss for San Francisco.
Poise under pressure, and Justin Smith didn't have it. So they lose their best defensive lineman for the game. He has been ejected for shoving the umpire. Automatic by rule. It's not judgment. That's a rule. You can't put your hands on the official. He's getting into it with Chris Wilson.
So he doesn't even see that it's Garth. He just throws him by the side, and then he looks up and is like, and there's the flag.
Quick pass, goal line. The two-point conversion is there. Randall Cobb once again. And this game has officially gone to Chippy as penalty markers fly.
Well, they're going to get Wilkerson for throwing punches.
And there's a helmet that's being removed. More penalty flags. Sheldon Richardson walking off the field without his helmet. more likely than not, there may end up being a couple guys thrown out here for throwing punches. Walt Anderson has a little deciphering to do on the field as the officials get together. Well, it looked like someone removed Sheldon Richardson's helmet for him.
Well, I think that was tight end Andrew Corliss for the Packers. He's the one that had a hand in the face mask and was carrying it around, and he may ultimately be taken off the field as well. Although he didn't throw a punch, so
he's got that going.
So he's got that going for him. He's got a jet helmet, but
here's Walt Anderson.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 91 of the defense. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 96 of the defense. That penalty will be enforced. Number 96 is disqualified.
Wow, so Muhammad Wilkerson has been tossed out of the game.
Well, and Wilkerson was the one that was, as I said, inexplicably, you can see him right here. He throws a punch, and he comes back and he'll throw another one right there.
Let's take a break. Let's go back and take a look, and it starts with, looks like Sheldon Richardson, number 91, right there.
And now we know why Corliss took his helmet off. He had his helmet grabbed first.
Now number 96, Muhammad Wilkerson, throwing lefts and rights at Josh Sitton, and that cost him the rest of the game.
He's smiling now, but that fine check that comes in the middle of the week, that isn't going to be good. That isn't going to be anything to smile about.
1st and 10 Seahawks. Robert Turbin gets the football, and the Rams are on him as he gets down to the 10. Ogletree, who has forced 6 fumbles and still getting into it.
I'll tell you what, Jeff Triplett's got to start threatening some ejections on some of these guys, and you got to get control of this football game. Whether you got to go talk to each coach individually, talk to the players, you got to start threatening some ejections for some of these extracurricular after-the-play activities.
Well, we had a play in the first half, 4 penalties on 1 play. Here comes a flag late, and the Rams, they've been talking too much. Here comes another flag.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 52 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal, it'll be a first down. Also, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 98 of the defense. Contact with an official. That is half the distance to the goal as well, and his actions disqualified himself from the game.
We had to figure that was coming.
So Langford has been ejected.
Oh, he totally didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
Stuck his arm out and hit the back judge right in the cap, knocked his helmet off.
But I think in the bigger picture, the officiating crew is thinking what you said. We're going to start throwing guys out of the game.
Kendall's like, I didn't know you were there. I was just pushing my hand out to the right.
It's a lot of people standing around. But the Rams defense should be focusing on the play and not chatting with officials, not arguing. They're losing the battle and the war here. It'll be 1st and goal from the 3-yard line of the Rams.
Kendall Langford still doesn't know why he's gone. And you watch him right here, number 98. They're talking. Now he's going to reach his hand out. And there's where he contacts the official.
And one official was behind him, Tim. Another one was working his way in. But there were 2 penalties against the Rams. He just threw his helmet. And here comes another flag. They might start assessing. I don't know how much closer you can move him to the goal line.
Probably costing him a lot of coin right now, too, Chris, with this reaction.
It's not just the Seahawk team or the officials. He's feeling the crowd, too.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 98 of the defense. Pass the distance to the goal. It's still first down.
If that door could slam.
See, he still doesn't even know why he's out. Now he just realized that you're gone, bud. You got to leave the field.
Yeah, but you don't slam your helmet down. 3 penalties on one play.